That's a lot. I mean, I'm really gone this year. And I'm doing it because the company's on fire. We're electric right now. There's insane things happening in the company, and we're talking about some even more insane things coming. It's been a historic few years. But I clearly have a favoritism for certain people in the company. I don't hide that. I think Real will tell you that. I think Real would tell you that probably his guys are one of that group, his sons and the other people in his hierarchy, the Stranakas and the Paxtons and this Real, it's just unreal squad. And those guys are kind of my favorites. And then my hierarchy, from my hierarchy, if I had to start all over again, the business, and I had to take somebody, he was like, who would you take? You know, would you take Charlier, would you take Olsen, would you take Rob Day, you know, would you take JD Villalobos, who would you take? That's a really, really, really hard discussion because in different ways they're all incredible, right? But the combination of Angelica and G would make it a very difficult choice. But if I had to start all over again and say I got a first round pick, I would take the Haro family right here. Twitter but that's what I would take. And the main reason is just I just believe that long-term intensity and competition wins. I just think eventually that wins out. The most intense, the most competitive, the person with the most want to, the most drive, the most courage, the most guts wins. And I think it makes up for everything else eventually. Not short-term, but long-term. And I can promise you, this dude is a lion. He is a ferocious, competitively person to the point where he'll offend half of you at least 3 times during this event. I can guarantee you. Because he's so damn competitive, he's so intense, and I love that about him. You show me anybody who's world-class. Kobe's getting ready to retire. I think it's pathetic watching this dude walk around laughing, missing 15 shots a night, right? That's not the Kobe I know. The Kobe I know is the mama, right? This dude's just ferocious. Jordan's a mama. Tiger Woods just gave an interview the other day. He goes, you know, if I never play again, I had a pretty good career. I'm like, who the hell is this guy talking? That dude was intense. He was a competitor, right? So I'm around guys all the time. Brady's a neighbor of mine, and so is John Elway. These guys are fierce competitors, and I put G in their category. He's not as athletic as those guys, but he is fiercely competitive. I appreciate you having me here, and we love Angie. Angelica's my wife loves her. We're close, and we do stuff outside of WFG together. And of all you Mexican dudes in here, I was best man in his wedding, just so you know. A white dude to be at the mariachi part of his wedding. Hey, a lot of mariachis at weddings, but evidently that's a big deal, so I'm glad I was there. Thank you for having me. You can explain it to me later. It was awesome to be there. So, hey, I'm fired up. The company's doing unbelievable. Coming off about another 45% growth year, off of another 50% growth year, after another 45% growth year. I was thinking about it. 3 years ago, we squeezed 13,800 people into a convention. 3 years ago. This year, Real knows this, we're going to have 45,000-ish probably. Hopefully, 45,000-ish. 3 years ago, we didn't all fit in one arena. Then we went to 2 arenas. Now this year, then the next year we went to 2 conventions in arenas. Now we're going to 2 conventions in 2 arenas. Wow. It's crazy. And probably the following year, Real, you know, we'll probably have to go to Texas Stadium where we've been looking to go fill up 80,000 people with the big board where the Cowboys play. People ask me all the time, you know, where's WFG heading? I just tell you right now, for me to tell you that I know where something moving this fast is heading 100%, I don't know. Neither does Real. None of us on the leadership of the company can tell you for certain where we know it's heading. Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that even as big as we are in California, and we are big here, we are the #1 producer of life insurance now in California and in the country of Canada, as a matter of fact, distributor of it. But as much as we produce of it, as many families as we help, every day we fall further behind in market share. We still have less than 1% of all of the market in Southern California, even though we're #1. Just to give you an idea, we had 5 offices in the entire LA County produce more than 10 sales last month. We could end up with 6,000 offices in LA County, which facilitates about 30 million people within 30 minutes of it, and we still wouldn't saturate the market. That's how open this thing is still. Is my mic good? So now, see, I'm such a professional speaker that I can tell when it cuts out. Is that better? Yeah. Cool. Leave it there. All right. So, I don't know why I said that right there. So it's going to be big. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to wake up someday, bottom line, there's going to be a WFG office on every corner in every major city in the United States. Bottom line. If you don't believe me, open up your phone book, if they still have those anymore, and see how many State Farm and Farmers Insurance and Progressives there are. And know this, we have a corner on the market. The entire industry is getting out of distribution. The life insurance industry is like, hey look, we don't know how this thing works. Hopefully they'll call our 800 number. Hopefully we can get our product put on the WFG shelf because we're not sure how to do this. All of the industry knows and fears WFG today. Trust me, they do. They all want to have one of these. They all want to find out how to get involved. They don't like to buy it. They don't like to get their hands on it. Because this leadership dynamic, business format, WSB, leadership, motivation, entrepreneurial machine, they don't get or understand at all, and they never will. We have the corner on the market. We're building more successful entrepreneurs at a rate, the six-figure earners, any company I know of. We're the fastest growing financial company in the world. We are the, I guess the Golden State Warriors, that's weird to say right now, of financial services. Never thought I'd say that sentence, but we are. And I'm, you don't want to be LeBron or Steph Curry. Who would you rather be? Doesn't matter. You ain't playing for them. Who cares? Right? People say, hey, you must be this big visionary. You must have this, you must be this just like incredible visionary guy. That's why you got involved in WFG and you just saw it from the beginning. Not true. I'm not a big visionary guy. I'm an average and ordinary guy. I have some extraordinary things about me. But I have a lot of really deficient things about me as well. One of them is non-IQ. I'm well-read, I work on myself, but I'm not naturally IQ very bright. In fact, here's how I got involved in WFG. This is just really the truth. I backed in. Can you imagine backing into WFG? Or backing into the thing that pays you millions of dollars a year? But I backed into it. Here's how much I backed into it. I literally started out in the business this way. Here's how I got started. I played college baseball, I got drafted, I finished my degree, I went to play and I got released. I had a tumor in my right leg, they removed part of my right leg twice, so I got released. I then had to go find a job. I interviewed for 3 months, found no jobs. I finally got hired by Xerox to sell copiers. Any of you know anybody who's ever sold copiers before? Anybody? Hell on earth, worst thing in the world. Cold calls to businesses, right? With sign on the door, no solicitors, you walk in, oh, decision maker, blah, blah, blah. Interviewed for 3 months, went to New York, got trained, flew me back out, started the first day, almost crapped my pants about 3 times. Second day, I worked till noon, took the lunch break, never came back again. Never came back, never called them, never said, sorry, I'm not going back, never asked for my 1 day's pay for the day before, just literally disappeared. And so then what I did is I moved into my mom and dad's house, I moved back into the same bed I grew up in, with the same teddy bear, with the same Red Sox posters on the wall that I grew up in. 21 years old, sleeping in my little twin bed with my teddy bear from when I was a kid. With my baseball card collection under my bed still. This thing's cutting out. I'm talking loud enough anyway, it's right here. That's what I was doing when I started here. Couldn't find a job. Finally, my dad, who had recently got sober, was in AA. He's still in AA, he's been sober 30 years, I'm proud of my dad. But at the time I had just started, right? My dad comes back from an AA meeting, this ragtag meeting, comes back from the AA meeting and goes, hey, there's a dude at the AA meeting who's going to get you a job. You need to get some work done. Here's what it is. It's a group home, $7 an hour. Show up in San Dimas tomorrow off of Via Verde. It's called McKinley Homes and Boys. Ask for Tim. I think it's one house. I get there, it's a campus. I think you know where McKinley is. It's a campus for like wards of the court, orphan boys, blah, blah, blah. I get there, I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to see Tim for a job. They're like, Tim who? I'm like, all I know is he's an alcoholic. I go, oh, yeah, Tim. All right, yeah. Car accident. Oh, yeah. He's in 4B with the 8-year-olds. Go over there. I go over there, I'm like, you, Tim? He's like, hey, are you Ed? I'm like, he's like, I go, yeah. He's like, thank God you're here. I go, okay, well, I'm here for the interview. He goes, you are hired. Kids running around screaming. And I started, my life changed in that moment. It was $7 an hour. My boys were all 8 and 9 years old. They were wards of the court. Some of my boys, you take a left and there was Oscar. I won't say his last name, but there was Oscar. Oscar was molested by his dad and his 4 uncles for 5 years. Taken from his family. There was Justin, who was medicated on like 9 million different medications. Justin was born and removed from his family. They were both drug addicts. I had Julian. Julian was born and dropped in a dumpster in West LA. So I had 10 boys, these were my boys. I grew up like their father, like their coach, like their mentor. All of a sudden, my whole life changed from being a young, still pretty cocky baseball player. You can picture me back in those days, all about